Hey, so today I just want to demonstrate a side project, YouTube clone. I basically just made a clone of YouTube. I'll try to make it look as close as possible to YouTube. The reason I made this was to practice some web development skills and learn some new tools, such as Next.js 13, which currently is in beta. I want to learn Tailwind and also some cloud tools such as S3, Lambda, and CloudFront. Um, so I just want to start by showing some how I made it reactive using Tailwind. So if you look at the search bar, it basically grows and shrinks and actually disappears on mobile. And also, obviously, like the videos are like flex, so they collapse. And the sidebar also changes a little bit in terms of sizing. All these things are pretty seamless because in Tailwind it's pretty easy to use breakpoints. It's all in line and fairly easy to use in Tailwind. Even though it can get messy, I feel like it's a faster development experience. And also Tailwind enforces some good standards. Even if you look at the description box, it kind of like changes as I grow and shrink. And then also like these become inline if I go like full screen. So it's pretty easy to do using Tailwind. I also wanted to demonstrate how I use Next.js 13. So the big difference between 12 and 13 for Next.js is the app directory. So in previous versions, all the pages would be in the pages directory. I'm still using the API directory for the API, but the pages are now in the app directory. They also introduced some new things, such as like layout. So as you can see, I'm passing in like session provider for next auth, and this is for use query, which I'll talk about later. But essentially I'm putting the nav bar here, and so it basically makes it so that it's able to basically standardize the layout. And so this can also be nested. So even the pages can have layouts, and it's basically the same thing in every folder that you can nest. Another thing about Next.js 13 is that every component that you make is automatically server-side rendered, a server-side component, unless you use the use query keyword here, and which will make it a client-side component. And so one problem that I was facing was that I wanted to make this button collapse the sidebar like it does on YouTube, but because I made the nav bar server-side rendered and the rest of the app was, or the sidebar was client-side rendered, persisting state between the two was kind of difficult. With Redux or in something like Zustand. There wasn't really a lot of examples or tutorials on how to do this because Next.js 13 beta is still so new, so I had to kind of skip over that for now. Hopefully I'll be able to figure that out in the future. I guess I can demonstrate uploading a video now. So if I go to, then I can upload. Okay, and then you can just choose a file. So I'll just choose MP4, upload. And so this will upload to AWS S3. And so once I open up S3 and my bucket, it should show up. Okay, just hold on as I open up my S3. But first we can just check that it did get uploaded. So if I just go to home, it's right there. So refresh, it's right here, and then you can basically just watch it. And if I go to my S3 bucket and I refresh, right here, you can see that it just got uploaded. I also used Lambda to basically create a signed URL to so that my app has a URL to upload the video from. So if I go to my Lambda here, it basically creates a random ID for my MP4, which is basically these IDs here. And then it uses my S3 parameters, so like, the bucket name and everything. And then it basically creates a signed URL. And then I'm able to return that signed URL. And then in my app, I'm able to do a fetch and use the signed URL to upload the MP4 to my S3 bucket. And then I also obviously used Gateway to basically expose my Lambda to my app. And then I also used CloudFront to basically distribute my S3 bucket to basically like a CDN, which improves performance and reduces latency because the videos are closer to the end user. I guess there's not much else to demonstrate. I guess I can show how I did next auth, so you can like log out, log in. That's using next auth interfaced with Google's OAuth. It's pretty seamless, and Next.js, they did a pretty good job at allowing different plugins, such as Google. And another thing is for the likes and dislikes, I basically used useQuery, which is kind of a new library. The way that it's used is basically it allows caches. So if I'm trying to make an API call and it fetches some data, I can use a key along with that fetch, and in the future, if I make a new fetch, then it will first look in the cache with that key, and it will show the cached data first, and then in the background it will do a fetch. And then it will update the data if it has been changed. So this makes it a lot faster and reactive, and of course that behavior can be changed. So like if I like it, then obviously if I go like home and then I go back here, it's liked still. So it kind of remembers. And then if I can kind of show how that works. So here's the use query. So here, like, I'm basically using video and parameter key, which is the key of the video MP4. And so I'm basically fetching the likes and the videos and everything. And then when I use mutation to update the likes, I'm able to pass in parameters such as invalidate. See, so here's use mutation, which is used to, if I want to update data. So basically this is how I used for likes and for view count. And it will basically invalidate the queries. So it will look at this key and it will invalidate that cache. And so the next time use query is used, it will see, oh, this cache has been invalidated, and therefore it will make a new fetch and override the data. And so it's a cleaner way of, it kind of reduces the need of using state management, and it also gives you more control over caching behavior and performance and fetching. And so it's a very cool library, and there's a lot of other features too. So yeah, that's basically my project. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, so hopefully I can add to this project and keep making it better. Thanks for listening.